What's up, everybody? Yes, I'm back, man. You guys already know what time it is with this individual right here. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. Well, anyways, people, today I'm going to elaborate on that second video that Mr. Dubs had spoke upon. He spoke on an individual, I guess, from Paradigm Media. I guess he goes by the name of Boxer Mendoza, formerly from a faction from up north. Uh, as you guys already know, I won't mention names to any type of organizations because I've always been taught that they're of non-existence. So, but anyways, people, those are my morals, so I stick to them, and I'm not going to bend them for anybody. Regardless of the way things change and the way people put stuff out here on social media, they could do what they want to do. That's their bed. They could make it. They need to lay in it. As far as myself, I make my bed and I go to sleep comfortably every night. Why? Because I keep it respectful and I respect the things that shouldn't be out here on social media, and the stuff that goes on behind them walls should stay behind them walls. It's none of anyone's business. But anyways, the second individual is Renegade Media, who I am very familiar with. And what Dub spoke on was a lot of intel that these individuals get. I won't speak on the boxer guy because I know nothing of him other than what I just mentioned. But first and foremost, as always, I need to remind you guys, this is a fitness channel with a twist, man. On my channel, I will always start off my video discussing something about nutrition, fitness, or overall health in general, and then end in a twist. And the twist is going to be finally what I end with, the story of the day, or whatever it is that my team members or audience members ask me to elaborate on. I know there's some individuals out here that want me to keep on pulling people's covers, and I will. You know what I mean? Because I get them day in, day out. The YouTube gangsters, they just don't go away. That's an organization that, whew, my goodness, I think that's the only organization I will mention out of the YouTube gangsters. Them guys are something else, man. They're off the hook. They with the business. They recruit on the daily. You know what I mean? They don't do no background checks or anything. They don't care where you come from or what you're made of. As long as you got that mouth of smut, you're in. You're in like Flynn, baby. You know what I'm saying? You don't need those are the only credentials that you have to have. Well, anyways, people, don't forget, man. Hit the like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all. Share this channel. 10,000 subscribers. With 10,000 subscribers, I will start doing lives on a regular basis. And with my lives, I will interact with every last person that pulls up to the yacht. I just keep it respectful. Now, with that being said, I need to give a shout out to my team member, man. I'm proud of you, Michael Benavides, my boy. If you guys need a good lawyer right there, he's a good lawyer. And another shout out to my boy, the one that built my website for me, Rudy. My boy was referred to me by my other team member, Julio Gotos. If you guys don't know, now you know. Julio Gotos is part of my team. He's been on my team for a minute, and I've told the story how I met him up there in San Fran. That's the boy right there. Well, anyways, people, I'm going to discuss a little bit about vitamin D deficiency and what kind of symptoms that you should look out for. Okay, so here are some symptoms that you probably didn't know that are related to vitamin D deficiency. The most common signs that you're deficient include lower back pain, depression, high blood pressure, inflammation, and autoimmune diseases. There's blood tests that will only show you the inactive form of vitamin D, and it doesn't tell you about the cellular level, people. So be aware. For some of the surprising signs of vitamin D deficiency, such as, like I said, head sweating. This is typically seen like in infants, but can also be seen in teens and adults. Nighttime sweating excessively in a cool room. You might even also wake up to a moist pillow. Mood swings. Vitamin D controls mood regulation, people. Procrastination, panic attacks. And with low vitamin D levels can cause panic attacks. Okay, so try taking high doses of vitamin D. You'll also encounter achiness in the pelvis, lower back, hips, and upper legs. Loss of muscle strength. There's so many things that you guys need to be aware of, man. If you have low vitamin D, you want to have enough calcium in the molecules. Okay, calcium allows the muscles to contract and is also involved in muscle production, people. So stiffness can happen in the knees and fingers. This is related to inflammation, people. Vitamin D supports your mitochondria, the energy factory of the cell, people. Okay, so I think I went on enough to confirm who I am, enough with the vitamin D. So if you want to get with the business and hop on the program and start becoming that best version of yourself, shoot me that DM. It's High Power Fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com, people. One last thing that just popped in my mind right now. Low vitamin D deficiency could also interfere with your cognitivity. You know what I mean? It creates slow thinking. You're not as on your wits as you should be. You know what I mean? So if you're one of them people that get, like I said, get stuck in that procrastination mode, it's more than likely because you're deficient in vitamin D, people. But anyways, so like I said, if you want to get started on your fitness journey, shoot me that DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. As a matter of fact, go check out my website. It's highpowerfitness.net, baby. Fill out the form, sign on with the team. You get some free merch. Not only will you get free merch, you get a free consultation. That's what I do give out there. I give free consultations, so you're not obligated to sign on. Okay? But anyways, with that being said, people, this is to bring me to what Mr. Dubs spoke on yesterday. Dubs actually spoke on something that I had elaborated on a long time ago at one of my day one videos, and people didn't really quite register what I meant by that. And the reason is because I didn't really have a very large following. So yeah, obviously the video wasn't distributed out there into the social media, YouTube, out of the world. Now it may reach more people, and the reason is because my following has grown. I'm almost up that 10,000 goal mark. With that being said, the 10,000, man, this motherfucking YouTube guy is going to become my people, baby. I don't discriminate. And I do this because it's therapeutic, people. Keep in mind, and I do ramble on. I went off course just right now. Okay, so the person that I'm going to elaborate on, and like I've said in the past on one of his videos, because he spoke on my neighborhood. He actually spoke on an individual that had bad charges, okay? By all means, the individual had bad charges, okay? Every neighborhood has individuals such as so. When a lot of times homies, when they get put into a barrio, they're a certain way, and then throughout their years of going through what they go through and experimenting with extracurricular activity, I should say, with dope, it changes that character. And I'm gonna give you an example. This last rodeo that I went through, I almost lost my identity, man. So like I said, I was very blessed to get arrested. I was rescued. I wasn't arrested, really. I was saved. And that's what brought me to where I'm at today, man. I'm so thankful to the man up above, to God, that I didn't catch a case that where I was gonna get washed up. Because at my age right now, let's keep it real, man. I come in with a 15-year little stint. That's like doing all day for me. Come on now, I'm almost 55 years old. I'm just like a hop, skip, and a jump away from being 55. I'm almost a senior. I mean, yeah, I'm in good shape and all that, but it'd be a wrap, you know what I mean? And I already know the type of animal I would turn into if I was in there, because, I would have that attitude that a lot of lifers did back in the day, that mi vida loca, like say, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I'm never going to see daylight again. And that was the attitude, and I'm keeping it real, you know what I mean? I've seen them. And, hey, we got to give a shout out to the homie from I'm going to say he's a vallero. Let's just put it that way. Well, actually, I'm going to put his neighborhood out there. I shouldn't do that, nah. But the homie Smokey, his younger homie, or I think he's a younger homie, is a comedian. Shout out to the homie, man. That fool used to, man, push those lifers buttons back in the day when we were up there in Soledad. That fool would flame a fire. But it is what it is. That fool from what I understand, and he's still the same way, Smokey. Much love and respect, my boy. If you ever come across a video or your homeboy ever shows you it, yeah, you know what time it is. Remember old boy from Azusa? That fool was crazy too. That fool looked like straight Haji. Good dude, man, good dude. With the business too. I swallowed too, oh boy. Well, anyways, I shouldn't be rambling on about that. Let's get to to Renegade Media. I've said in the past, he spoke on an individual from my barrio. Yeah, he was had bad charges on him. Obviously, okay, so well, not obviously, but it was found to be true. The charges that were filed against him, he was convicted of it. Um, I won't speak on him because it happens in every neighborhood. But the reason why I was came down on Renegade Media is because not only did he tried to put a whole jacket on my whole barrio, claiming that that's the way we got down over there. So I'm the type of person that's not gonna sit there and bite down on my tongue. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give this fool a piece of my mind. And I've said in the past too, these individuals that get all this intel, whether it be coming from law enforcement, I could tell you right now, their intel comes from an individual that wants to utilize these cats as being a resource to either smut somebody up or to tell a story to an audience that they're trying to reach. And if they're trying to reach an audience such as the backgrounds that I come from, more than likely the intel he's come getting is probably, he may even be working with Juras. Who knows? I don't know, because that would be a speculation as well. And Dubs had made something about people making assumptions. And, doing time behind them walls, there's a lot of individuals that do feed off of assumptions, and those are the cats that usually end up winding up in a wreck because they don't care to do their homework. They're just more like chasing the bag. And what happens with them cats, they usually end up getting put on a mission, and the ones that can hang with the missions roll through with it, clean their act up, and the other ones tend to just roll it up. I've seen it done many times. That's why, again, it's to bring me to why I don't understand why homies supply individuals when they know them personally from the street, that they have no one supporting them, but they're setting them up for failure. You know what I mean? Because eventually, favors are gonna run out. Unless you live on a fucking junkyard. But anyways, again, Mr. Renegade Media, he has a lot of intel. A lot of his intel is accurate, and the reason it is because it's public records, But now you got to keep in mind, the only people that really have the actual factual to the T, what goes on with those trials, are the people that were involved. Okay, you got to keep in mind, detectives and law enforcement, they piece together things with witnesses and so on and so on. So they're going to script it the best that they want to script. And of course, they're going to script it that's going to benefit for them, where they could, put away this individual. They don't want to leave no potholes uncovered, because that would be a way for the person that was the perpetrator, the one that did the act, you know what I mean? The predator, that would be a way of them to get out of their sentence. You know what I mean? They find potholes where they fucked up, So obviously, law enforcement's gonna print up their stuff the way they want the public to hear it. You know what I mean? And a lot of times they're pretty accurate. Okay, I'm gonna keep it really 100% with you guys, But as far as Renegade Media tapping into all these barrios, I could imagine that there's a lot of barrios out here where they got people that tap into them. But as often as he claims that they do, I don't think so. I think he just does research and goes by third-party information, which is terrible, because it's kind of like bad politicking. I'm gonna give you an example, man. You get an individual that was done dirty behind them walls, and he holds a personal grudge, not taking it like if it was business. It was dirty politicking, and this guy was, stripped of his rank, and also came with consequences. He may hold a personal vendetta against that individual. So in the long run, there are them individuals that will utilize somebody such as Renegade Media and feed them information, especially if they're in the limelight. And you know what makes it dangerous, man? Because I don't know if this cat speaks on existing cases, but he shouldn't be speaking on existing cases. Nobody should. And I don't care how far off or what you think. You shouldn't speak on no existing cases, and that goes for everybody. You know, it's not cool. Not where I come from. It's not the thing I wouldn't do. Like example how they're speaking on like Manny, Sin City Manny. Hey, a lot of people may say a lot of things about him. You guys got to remember, I could have spoke on him, but for what? You know what I mean? I met the dude one time on Fremont Street. He didn't seem like the way he was portrayed out there. He seen me doing my video, and he recognized me. As a matter of fact, So I'm not gonna speak on that for what. You know what I mean? What happened happened. Only they know the true insights of what really went down. The ones that were there. So this third party information, man, it could always be coming from individuals that were victimized. Okay, so keep in mind, a lot of people, if they really do reach out to Renegade Media the way he claims that he does, yeah, he has a large platform. They might have an ulterior motive. Who knows? They may be trying to link up with them to try to build their platform. And I've seen it done just with casual cats. I remember pulling up to the homie Badachi's event. I went over there to go eat with the homie and, chop it up and show my love. And he, gave me, that same, I was invited to pull up over there. And I pulled up. But there was a certain individual. I met this individual. This individual actually had a partner at one time. They were there like a dynamic duo themselves and very humble, both of them. You know what I mean? And long story short, I'm not gonna pull no names or nothing like that because I won't do that because this person, is still out there and doing their thing. But this individual cut ties with their partner and gained a little following. But now this individual feels like they're a star. You know what I mean? And it's ridiculous. The way they pull up, they really believe that there's something because they got a few thousand followers on Instagram. Whoop-de-doo. I wouldn't care if I had 100,000 followers. I'm just your average Joe, just up here putting content. You know what I mean? Just because you have followers, subscribers, and all that, at the end of the day, you don't even know if they're real followers. I know an individual that's got a gang of followers, and I believe most of his followers are just hoping to see when he falls off. And I'm not gonna say no names. Like I said, I know individuals that are like that. They're hoping. It's kind of like what they're doing with Lefty Gunplay. I'm gonna keep it real, man. Lefty Gunplay, that fool needs some help, man. He's gain your shine, but save that feria, my boy, because eventually that shit's gonna get old with everybody. Everybody's waiting for your fall, though. Not me. I hope you win, my boy. Real talk. But anyways, people, with that being said, man, I'm going to bring this video to an end. I think I went rambling on enough. But yeah, I have to agree with Mr. Dubs, man. He hit the nail on the head. And yeah, there's people out there that have been victimized and that played a certain role behind them walls. And when they came out here, because there's other individuals too that I will not speak on, they put out a lot of stuff too, And no, I'm not a subscriber of none of them. I'm not going to. But people are ruthless, man. They're scandalous. There's a lot of ways that people try to bring hurt to others to get their run-backs. Let's just put it that way. Well, anyways, people, with that being said, if you guys want to get started on your fitness journey, shoot me the DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. And once again, go check out my website. My boy built it. My boy Rudy. He built an incredible website for me. It's on point. Got to give him his props. But like I said, you want to get started, shoot me that DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. 10,000 subscribers, baby. We're going activo right here in this YouTube yarda. You already know I don't discriminate. All is welcome. Pull up. You know what I mean? Just keep it classy. Like me. I'm a gangster with class, baby. Someone was commenting about me doing my leg lunges this morning in my sweatpants because they're creased down. Those of you that know me in the joint, I've always stood Bonnaroo. But let me put you up on a little game. When I went Bonnaroo, I wasn't wearing brand new stuff. I used to like the older stuff. I was put up by a game by lifers. It did look more classy. The stuff that was worn down, As long as it's creased down, you look classy. And that's the rule that I keep to today. I don't need Bonnaroo crispy stuff. As long as you look neat and presentable, that's what counts, baby. Anyways, with that being said, get up and get yours, because I done got mine this morning and it was leg day. Let's do this.